Hello jazz nerds, Sandra Sherman here. Greetings from Vienna. You guys asked for it and here it is. Satin Doll as an easy chord melody arrangement. I'll show you everything slowly and in detail so it will be easy for you to follow. I've also made tabs of my arrangement which you can download from the link below in the description from my website. I'll play everything first at regular speed and then break it all up for you. All right, here we go. Satin Doll is in the key of C major and it's quite easy to play. We have a sequenced melody, which means many repetitions. And what makes Satin Doll actually so unique, it's a syncopated rhythm in a melody, which means we have a lot of offbeats going on in a melody. All right, I play with my fingers and my pick, which is called hybrid picking. You can play with your fingers only if you like to, but you cannot play with your pick alone. We cannot strum this. All right, here we go. So here's that first A section. Let me play through it quickly for you so you can hear it. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we start with the 2-5 progression on the D minor chord. We bar over the 5th fret from the A string all over to the E string, and the middle finger is on the 6th of the B string. We play the bass note, the A string, and the upper 3, the highest 3 strings, the G string, the B string, and the E string. 5, 5, 6, 5, this is. That's a D minor 7 chord. And now I add the melody with my pinky on the 8th fret of the B string. I play that alone while the rest is still ringing. Then I lift it up, and I play the E string again where my index still pressing against that 5th fret. That's the D minor. Now I have a syncopated, played before the 3rd beat on the 2 end, G13 chord. I bar over the 3rd fret, so I just move my bar chord over to the 3rd, and I play with my middle finger the 4th fret of the G string, and with my ring finger the 5th fret of the B string. The index also presses against the high E string, because again we only play the low E string, 3rd fret, the G on the 4th, the B on the 5th, and the E on the 6th. So the highest 3 strings plus the bass. 1 and 2 and 3. It rings into the 3. So this is called syncopation. When you start on an offbeat, 2 and it rings into the 3. And on the 3 and, I add my pinky to the 5th fret of the E string and play it while the rest is still ringing. Now it became a G13 9 chord. This is the ninth. All right. Now I go back to my D minor 7, play those same strings, the A, the G, B, and the E string, 5, 5, 6, 5. But I play on the 1 and, so I have a rest. 1 and. Then I go back to that G13 we had before, 3rd fret, 4th, 5th, 3rd, and immediately hit that high E string on the 5th fret. Okay, second bar, 1 and 3 and, oops, sorry, 3 and. Okay, those first 2 bars, they are very important because now they get repeated just 2 frets higher. So I repeat them, 3, 4. Right, and now everything is being moved up the fretboard for 2 frets. Instead of D minor 7, we start 2 frets up on the 7th fret, and it's a E minor 7 now. 7, 7, 8, 7, highest 3 strings plus the A string. Same thing here. Pinky goes to the 10th of B now and back to the 7th of E. Move down 2. Play this chord we had before on G is now A13, 5 bar, 6 G, 7 of B, and 5 of E. Then I add my pinky to the 7th of E. Exact same phrase as the first bar, just 2 up. And the 4th bar is the same as the second bar, but 2 frets up. So 1 is a rest, 2 and is the E minor 7, and then I move down to A13 and add my pinky. Okay, the first 4 bars, 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, and here are the second 4 bars. We have an A half diminished, 11 now. We are fretting the 7th from the D to the high E string and barring the middle finger over the 8 and 8 of G and B string. 7, 8, 8, and the pinky goes to the 10th of the E string. That's an A half diminished with the 11th on top for the melody tone. And we start on the 1 and. 1 and. You count till 3, 1 and 2 and. On count number 3, you lift your pinky up. You press that bar down to the E string so that the 8th fret of the E string comes out. 1 and go back to that pinky on the 10th of the E. Then we have an A flat minor 9 chord, regular jazz chord, you might know this. This is A string 11, D string 9, G and B strings 11th. Again on the 1 and. Then it's for the 5 chord, that's a D flat 7 in this case, and I'm barring it. Usually I'd play it like this, but I need to make a melody up here, so I bar it on the 9th fret, and I put my middle finger on the 10th of the G. So I have 9 of E, then I play the D string, then the G string on the 10th, and the B string on the 9th. Okay, I play those simultaneously. Then I put my pinky on the 11th of the B string while everything keeps on ringing. Exactly. And then very quickly I move down to C major 7 chord, regular C major 7 jazz chord. 8 of the E, 9 and 9 of D and G, and the 8 of the B string. Syncopated on the 4 and. So I play this last bar for you. 1 and. Okay, again. 1 and D flat. C major. Okay, from A half diminished. And now the melody is over for that A part, and I still have 2 bars left. What I do is I fill up my C major chord first by playing the bass alone and the middle 2 strings, the D and the G string, twice. I do not play up to the high B string because I don't want to conflict with the melody, because that 8th fret should still be ringing, okay? So I have that 8th fret ringing, the whole thing ringing, and now I play the bass and the middle 2 strings. 3, 4. Okay, and the last bar of A1 section A1, is a B flat 13. That's the 6 of E, the 6 of D, the 7 of G, and the 8 of B. I play that twice. This is actually a tritone substitute for the E half diminished, because that last part is supposed to be an E half diminished going over to its 5 chord, the A7 altered. So you often substitute that E half diminished with a B flat 13, because then you have a bass movement, a smoother bass movement. Play it twice, and you slide over, you glide over to the 5th, and you play your A7 sharp 5 chord. You can leave all the fingers where they are, move 1 to the left, and the pinky actually moves 2 to the left. So this is 5 of E, 5 D, 6 and 6 of G and B, right? I'll play that full A1 section now for you at slow tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Section A2 is identical to section A1 except for that last bar. All right, the last bar in the first section was a B flat 13 going to an A7 because that A7 resolved to D minor in the A2 section. We don't need that now because we're changing the end of A2 goes to the B section. So what we have is a C there. C6-9 on the 8th fret for that last bar on the 8th, then a 7th on the D and G and the 8 of the B. And after the rest, we slide down 1 to the left, exactly same thing, and slide back to the C. So we have C6-9, B6-9, and C6-9 again. That's 1, 2, and that's the last bar. So I'm gonna play the full A2 section for you now at slow speed, and you'll hear that the first 7 bars are identical and the last bar is this one. All right, here we go, full A2 section. 1, 2, 3, 4. Here is the B section with another sequenced melody and even more syncopated. I'll play through it quickly now at regular speed. 1, 2, 3, 4. We start with a G minor 11 chord. It's an upper chord voicing, and we have our index barred over the 8th fret from D to E string, and the ring and pinky go on the 10th fret of the G and B. So we have 8, 10, 10, 8. Here's our virtual root on the 10th fret of the A string, but we don't play it. Comes from this G minor chord. We play a quarter note, 1, and now we have a melody. And we move our pinky 1 to the right on the B string 11th. And we move it back in to the 10th fret. Play those 2 notes alone while everything keeps on ringing. Then we go to a C7 chord, and I bar this. I kind of shift my finger up, glide it up here, and add my middle finger. So I'm on the 8th fret, and the middle finger's on the 9th of the G. I play my bass note on the 8th, and the middle 3 strings, that's the D string on the 8th, the G string on the 9th, and the B string on the 8th. Then with my pinky, I hit that 10th fret of the B string while everything keeps on ringing. I move that finger out to the right, play the 11th fret. And then I anticipate my G minor chord from the next bar, G minor 11, sorry, that we had before. 8, 10, 10, 8 on the 4 end. So this is the first bar, 3, 4. Then I repeat that. I move my finger out to the 11th fret, to the 10th, go to the C7 again, same strings, E, D, G, and B. Pinky to the 10th of B and 11th of B. And now I change to an F major 7 with the upper 3 strings plus the bass. So we have 8, then the 10th, which is not played actually, the 9th of G, the 10th of B, and the 8th by barring of E. Bass note and the highest 3 strings. So that second bar from that syncopation, 3, 4. First 2 bars. The melody is over here for that first line at least, and now I have to fill again. I play the bass again and the middle 3 strings, D, G, and B strings without changing anything. Sorry. Then I change to, I'll play that twice. Then I play an F6-9 chord, which is the 8 of A, 7, 7 of D and G, and the 8 of B. And then I move 1 to the left, that's an E6-9 now, and I move back to the F6-9. That's 1, 2, and that's a typical brass kind of thing in a big band. The horn section would do that. Fill. A filler. All right, the first line. 1, 2, 3, 4. And guess what? When we move it down 2 frets and repeat everything, the rhythm changes slightly now. Okay, we start on the 10th fret, barring, and the same as the G minor 11, but now on the A minor 11. 10 of D, 12, 12 of G and B, and 10 of E. Move your pinky out to the B on the 13th, back in, 12th. Slide up to have a D chord, 10th, and then a D string on the 10th, 11th of the G, and 10th by barring on the B. Pinky goes out to the 12th and the 13th, and back to the A minor 11. Okay, the rhythm now is all eighths. Da, 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 until we have that syncopation. Before that, on the G minor, we had da, 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 one long note, two short ones. Now we have only short notes, da, 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 until we hit that D7. This one's a long note. Okay, 3, 4. Then again, move your finger out to the 13th, back into the 12th, go to the D7 again, 12th of B, and pinky out again, same as before. Second bar, 3, 4, and anticipate the next chord, D minor 7, a bar, which is a bar on over all strings of the 10th fret. We play the bass and the upper 3 strings, 10, 10, 10. Okay, first 2 bars. Actually, we are in bar 5 and 6 of the B section. 3, 4. Now that melody is over too, and we fill it the same way we did before with that F major. Now we have, we anticipated this chord up until the high E string. Now we play the bass, and then we play the middle 3 strings, the D, G, and B string on the 10th. To let this high E string ring, because that's our melody. Right, bass and twice the filler. And then we have a 5 chord that leads us back to the A section, the D minor. And that's the 5 chord of D minor is an A7 altered chord. And we have it here, A7 sharp 9 and flat 9. A7 sharp 9 is the 12th of A, 11th of D, 12th of G, and 13th of B. And now move it to B flats on top note, to flat 9 chord by barring over with my index finger, and the result is 12, 11, 12, 11 of the inner 4 strings. All right, so the full, now let's play the A minor part again, 3, 4. And now the full B section at slow tempo. 1, 2, 3, 4. Section A3 is totally identical with section A1 and A2, and the last C major chord is just ringing out. Okay, so this is the last chord, okay? Coming from that A flat minor 9. And you just let it ring out. You arpeggio it through the strings quickly, which means you play one string after another in a very quick way. You gotta practice this with your fingers. Thumb, index, middle, ring very fast. Or strum through it with your pick. But then please take care of the A string, not playing the A string. Or play it like me, hybrid picking. All right, that full A3 section in slow motion. 1, 2, 3, 4. Well then, I really hope you liked my rendition of Satin Doll. If you did so, please smash that like button and that subscribe button, and I see you next time. Ciao from Vienna.